Small one, Evie is sick. She got food poisoning. She's okay now. My daughter's home. My youngest always home. My son out of school. Sorry, my life.
The Vietnamese centipede is the only species of centipede to have ever killed a human being. Under the oil. Season them again, just real quick over the salt and pepper. How does he know to season it with salt and pepper? How does he know those flavors go together if he's never eaten it before? That's just like throwing salt on an already potentially salty food and being like, The heat not only cooks the insect, it also breaks down the poisonous venom. There you go. Take a peek and see what's been done today for you, Dave. Oh my God! It's still got very much the look of the beast. The look of the beast. But there's so much muscle tissue.
I feel like I was about to throw up.
I understand why you say that. This concept isn't that out there for me because by eating more insects, we can place less strain on our land, have highly nutritious and protein-rich foods brought to our diet, especially in areas where we don't have farming abilities. I've actually tasted grasshopper people. Not too shabby. One of the strongest
Family in the world.
Nick, Callie, Dylan, and Jessica Best
You can do it.
train their bodies up to 240 hours each week. That's a lot of hours of training. While some pediatricians warn against weight training for kids, 11-year-old Dylan routinely deadlifts 130 pounds.
I do like working out. It's like my coffee in the morning. If I don't do it, I don't feel right.
I love that this kid is so mature. Initially looking at this, 11 years old, is probably on the earlier side of starting to lift heavy weights. The idea is that you risk injury when you have non-fully formed muscles, tendons, ligaments, bones, and start lifting heavy weights. It can be done safely, you just need to be very careful and monitored by a professional. Kids like below the age of 7 shouldn't be doing weightlifting at all. Starting at age 7, you could start incorporating strength training, that's good, but just not with heavy weights.
Oh my gosh, JJ.
Experts recommend children her age train with 1-pound weights, but she can lift 100 pounds. That's probably not ideal. That being said, I doubt that this is going to do any real damage to her growth plates. That was kind of a myth that we had published by the American Academy of Pediatrics in 1983, where we thought that could happen. It was a potential risk. And then as time went on, we saw that happen less and less, especially with proper training. Dylan and Jessica consume nearly twice the recommended calories for their age. While we do give recommendations on caloric intake, that is a wide-ranging recommendation, needs to be individualized. So for children that are highly active like them, and we see how their weight and their BMI is trending, we can make different changes to their diets and to their recommendations. So the fact that they're eating a lot more than an average child isn't that wild to me because they're burning a lot of calories by doing all these workouts several times a day.
Hi, I'm Kelly Athena, and I'm obsessed with rescuing food from dumpsters.
I'm with it. We waste so much food in this country while other countries starve. I don't think this is a terrible idea. I just hope they're doing it safely. The average American household spends over $500 a month on
Okay.
groceries.
I don't know what the freak it is.
That looks the prettiest and waste the food that may not look pretty but is just as nutritious, just as tasty.
Everything I have in my fridge, I got from the dumpster. Apples, cucumbers, pickles, condiments, grapes, cantaloupe. Here's some soy milk I had, and it even expired more than a month ago.
Sometimes it's a full-on expiration date, but you really need to understand what that date is for, because that date could be like for ideal freshness or for ideal taste. It still might be calorically, nutritionally valuable.
I'm not afraid to eat right out of the dumpster if it's good stuff. There's this peach. If I peel it, that'll be pretty safe to eat. If I eat out at a restaurant, I don't know who's preparing that food back there.
I don't know if I'm a fan of that logic. You don't know who's preparing the food, at least it's cooked. Here, you're getting food that's been living in a dumpster. What if a raccoon pooped on it? Me slicing up the 4-month-old dumpster pizza with cheese 2 weeks past its expiration date. Overripe tomatoes Kelly found a week ago.
Maybe a little diced fennel.
Fennel found at the bottom of a trash bin just this morning. Well, it's a fresh dumpster fennel. And frozen chicken. Chicken, if it was even not frozen for a short period of time, bacteria can start proliferating on it, especially if it wasn't stored or prepared properly. Oh man, I've had a personal close friend of mine who eats thoroughly cooked foods, eat out at a restaurant. get an infection from one of those foods and then develop an abscess, which is a pocket of infection inside his brain, and he still has neurologic effects as a result of that. So this isn't like totally benign. I also reviewed Family by the Ton, living life as an 800-pound.
This holiday, save on all the best gifts from all the best brands. Get 25% off Champion, 25% off Under Armour, plus earn Gold Cash and get fast and free store pickup.
Brad Pitt has been the main topic of every conversation for decades, due to his acting accomplishments and his arguably messy personal life. And as the custody battle continues, he has strived to prove to his kids that he's a good father. While there is a higher standard of childcare for celebrity parents, there's no golden rule with regard to parenting. In today's video, we're exploring Brad Pitt's way of fatherhood, including what allegedly led to him losing his kids. After almost 10 years together, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie tied the knot but went their separate ways just 2 years later.
I don't want to say very much about that, except to say it was a very difficult time, and we are a family, and we will always be a family.
While Jolie revealed that she initiated the split for the health of the family, it was rumored that her reasons were partially due to Pitt dealing with a drinking problem. I am very saddened by this, but what matters most now is the well-being of our kids, he said at the time. I kindly asked the press to give them the space they deserve during this challenging time. The divorce hit him with the reality of not having been a great father to his kids. He became aware of the damage his drinking had caused. He wanted to prove to both his kids and his ex-wife that he could be a better person. His self-improvement efforts finally
I'm so
paid off
lost.
in 2018 when Angelina agreed to allow him more time with the kids. Moreover, a year later, the situation got even better for Brad when Angie reached out to him to see if he'd be interested in looking after the kids during the summer.
I think 6 kids make you strong. I think a commitment to each other. I think a commitment to understanding each other, and that's bonds of love in my mind.
Brad was overly excited about it and invited his parents to stay with him to enjoy some much-needed family time together. During the summer, reportedly, he was teaching them carpentry and introducing them to his favorite books. Pitt has openly expressed his joy at becoming a dad. The Ad Astra star views fatherhood as his top priority. I feel like the richest man alive since I've become a father, he said back in 2014.
Angelina was saying that you all, as a family, is the greatest thing you all have done for your lives.
Yeah, as I say, it's the greatest thing I've ever taken on. I can't imagine life without it.
According to the actor, being a father has changed him on so many levels, making him more generous and alive. In 2008, Brad appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show to promote his film, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Still married to Jolie at the time, the actor discussed the recent birth of his twins and how certain aspects of fatherhood had toughened him up. First of all, I'm hard as nails. I'm impervious to poo, snot, urine that much. And now it's just like, honey, come here. You see that? You need to chew your food. You've got to chew your food or you'll make yourself sick. Despite the typical bodily functions that parents are subjected to daily, they revealed the profound significance his children brought into his life. It's the greatest thing I've ever taken on. I can't imagine life without it, he raved of parenting to the talk show icon. I can't help but do a film thanking my kids.
Hi, I'm Lizzie from Chicago. Before I tell you my story, please like and subscribe. I grew up with 2 loving parents and an amazing sister, Patty. She was years older than me, but she was my best friend, and I stuck to her like glue. Once when I was 7, I just bought popsicles from an ice cream truck when suddenly a tall boy blocked my way and knocked them out of my hand. Hey, what'd you do that for, jerk? I just felt like it. What you gonna do? Go cry to your mommy? She doesn't need to, because she has me. And with that, Patty tackled the boy to the ground. She grabbed one of the dirty popsicles and rubbed it all over his face. The boy pushed her off and shouted, "Crazy psycho," before he ran away. Patty was awesome. Life was good until the 5th grade when everything changed. Patty had climbed climbed onto the roof one day, and she ended up having a terrible fall. My parents rushed her to the hospital, but a few hours later, found out that she'd gone into a coma. We were completely devastated. I missed Patty like crazy. And to make things worse, my parents became super protective about me from that moment. Every time I got the slightest injury, Mom freaked out. Oh my god, my baby! She's bleeding! It's just a paper cut. I'm fine. But Mom rushed me off to the clinic like I'd cut my hand off. Even the doctors there were soon sick of her, and things kept getting crazier. Once when I was 14, I had to beg my parents to let me go on a school trip to an amusement park. They finally agreed, and I was so excited. But just as I was climbing onto the roller coaster, my teacher came flying and pulled me away. Oh no, your parents made me sign an agreement that I wouldn't let you go on any ride. What? I just sat on the bench like a moron the whole day, while everyone else had crazy fun. This was so unfair, and I was so mad when I got home. Guys, you have to stop. You're sucking all the fun out of my life. We're only looking out for you. Why don't you understand? I do understand. Mom, Dad, I really miss Patty too, and I wish she'd never been hurt, but you can't always stop bad things from happening. Well, we're sure as heck gonna try. Ugh, they were impossible. A friend had a slumber party at her place one night. I knew my parents would never let me stay over. So once they were asleep, I climbed out the window. I'd be back before they woke up. I was having an amazing time with my friends when suddenly we heard loud screams from downstairs. And to my horror, I saw my mom attacking Lizzie's mom and yelling, "Where's my daughter? I know you're holding her here. I can track her phone location. Tell me, right now." Oh my god! Mom, are you insane? I can't take this anymore. Just then, Dad came running in, looking pale as a ghost. I just got a phone call from the hospital. Patty is awake. We forgot everything and rushed to the hospital, and we found Patty sitting up in bed, smiling at us. It was unbelievable. Luckily, Patty's head injury hadn't affected her memory, but it took her a month of physical therapy just to be able to walk again. When she finally came home, we had her room all newly decorated for her, and I hugged her tight. Patty, I miss you so much. Missed you too, Lizzie. Patty was now 16, but her mind still seemed like that of a 12-year-old. I felt like the older sister now, and it felt a bit strange talking to someone who had no idea what had happened in the past 4 years. Oh, any new songs by One Direction? Oh, no, Patty. They broke up soon after your accident. Oh, I see. How about we make a YouTube video of how to make slime? No one really does that anymore. She looked a bit bummed out, so I introduced her to other things I knew she'd love. There's TikTok, My Story Animated, and now everybody goes in pajamas everywhere. Patty looked fascinated, and we stayed up all night while I got her up to speed. A few weeks later, Patty started school again, but she had to go back to 7th grade, while I was already in 9th grade. I could tell she was struggling with studies, so I would help her out during breaks at school. One day, I found Dad standing in the driveway next to his car, which had a large dent on the side, and the headlights were smashed. What happened to your car, Dad? Oh, you're asking me? Well, let me remind you. You took my car out last night, hid it somewhere, and brought it back like this. What? Are you crazy? I didn't do that. The neighbors said they saw you driving off with it last night, so stop lying. I can't believe you'd be such a reckless maniac. No pocket money for 3 months, and I'm never allowing you to drive. I didn't do it. I swear. Dad just walked off into the house without hearing another word. The only thing that cheered me up was I was meeting my boyfriend, Jonathan, later that evening. We'd been going out for a month, and of course, I hadn't told my parents. That evening, while they were busy watching TV with Patty, I slipped out quietly and waited for Jonathan at our meeting spot. But when he didn't turn up after half an hour, I called him. What do you want? Where are you? I'm waiting for you at our spot. Oh, do you have amnesia now? You broke up with me over text yesterday, remember? And with that, he hung up. What the heck was he talking about? When I looked at the messages I'd sent, I was shocked. Jonathan, what was between us was nice, but I'm kind of bored of you now, so let's call it quits. Hey, thanks, bye. Gosh, was I losing my mind? I didn't remember sending this message. Oh, this seems like something Mom would do. I ran home to confront her. Where are you coming from, Lizzie? Oh, I went to meet my boyfriend. Yeah, don't look so shocked. Mom, you already know about him. After all, you're the one who broke up with him from my phone. What rubbish. I didn't know anything about a boyfriend before, but thanks for telling me now. You're grounded. Just then I saw Patty behind my parents, and she had an evil smile on her face. Oh my God! Patty, you did all this, didn't you? Wrecked Dad's car? Stole my phone? It's you! My poor Patty has barely learned to walk again, and you're saying she took my car? You're awful for trying to blame things on your sister, Lizzie. Don't you dare say another word about Patty. Maybe you're just jealous she's been getting more attention since she's come back to us. I couldn't believe they had just said that. I stormed off to my room and slammed the door shut. She completely denied it when I confronted her, saying I was crazy and paranoid. But she kept messing with me, putting salt instead of sugar in my coffee, breaking my things, cutting up my clothes. I never knew what she'd do next. But I was in for a major shock when I saw her kissing someone in the school corridor the next day. My ex-boyfriend, Jonathan. I marched up to her and pulled her away. What do you think you're doing? Kissing my boyfriend. Why? Are you jealous? Are you out of your mind? Jonathan, since when?
Goodbye. Roaming fees that rack up overseas. Hello, automatic coverage when I'm exploring the world. Hello, Google Fi, a phone plan that can.
Oh shit.
Are you out of your mind? Jonathan, since when have you been dating my sister? Not that it's any of your business, but it just happened. I like how mature she is for her age. Of course she's mature. She's 2 years older than you. She's a 16-year-old dummy